Hey, Jaquiski.
Why did you choose Philadelphia and Long?
Uh,
Why did you choose Philadelphia and Long, and why did you sign him?
I mean, just looking at this roster, man, it's just a bunch of dogs on both sides of the ball. And then I just remember playing against them last year. It was like one of them ice bag games. So a team like that just feels good. That's something you love as a football player.
So you came kind of late in the off season. I think mid-June is when you signed, and you were in San Fran for so long. How challenging has it been to come to a new team and to learn not only the city, your teammates, the playbook, all that stuff?
Everything is challenging when you going to a new team. But to me, it's kind of almost the same. The practices out here, they're legit out here. So for me, it's just trying to learn that playbook, be consistent with the technique in my eyes, and everything will come.
Is it much different from what you were playing with the 49ers?
The playbook is for sure, but I would say the intensity, the way these guys go after it, I think it's the same.
Denard mentioned terminology. Is that the biggest thing? The biggest difference?
Yeah, the terminology and technique with that terminology. They kind of like with terminology with San Fran and here it's almost similar, but a different technique. So those are things I got to try to get down pat.
How did you handle not being signed so late into free agency, considering all that you'd accomplished in San Francisco?
I actually was just waiting. I didn't, I was, really trying to let my body heal from the season, and I was just going to make a decision before camp. I knew I'd be playing with somebody before camp time.
Did a number of teams show interest? Did you have other options?
It was a few teams, but at the end of the day, once I knew Philly wanted me, and I saw James Bradbury come, I'm like, Philly probably going to be the team I want to go to.
Are you still close to James? Are you still?
Oh yeah. We always kept up, yes sir.
What was that secondary like down there at Sanford?
It was fun, man. A lot of those guys, my brothers, man. So just working and grinding with those guys. There's a lot of special guys in that locker room.
It's interesting. You're both your second-round picks, I think, a year apart, right?
Yeah, a year apart. Yes, sir.
Did you kind of see that happening when you were, going through, snaps in college?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like in college with James, when he transferred in, I'm like, got me a cornerback. So for me, I just used to lock him backside, and I just go roaming the whole time. So I ain't have to worry about his side ever in college. So that was a great thing to have in college.
What about his personality? Has it changed at all?
Nah, James still the same dude. He gonna be one of those guys that's always the same. Like for him, no facial expression, like one word answer. That's him.
What do you make of Slay then?
He's a big personality. I love him. His personality, man. Like for how he is, and how he is off the field versus on the field. Like he hit a switch. Like a very fun guy to be around off the field, and on the field just a straight dog. And you could tell by the way he play on film, and he's been doing it for years.
Safety room, Anthony Harris, a veteran. You have Marcus, a younger player. Kayvon Wallace. What's been your sort of meshing in that particular room?
Those guys are pretty cool, man. Marcus Epps and Anthony, they got the play. Like, I think they're a bunch of playmakers in the secondary, and I think those guys have been working hard, and you can see it on film as well. Like, just seeing how they go after the ball, come up in the run game, and I think with the versatility those guys have, and I think that's huge with this defense.
James give you a sales pitch to come here?
Nah, he didn't have to, man. I at this point, it's just like I said, this organization and just the fans here too. I remember last year when we played, just how the fans were. So, my thing was like, man, I love to be getting cheered on by this crowd.
Sorry for bringing it up, but the missed interception last year, you were pretty quick to raise your hand after that and take ownership of it. Why was that so important?
I wouldn't say it was important, but at the same time, it was like the elephant in the room. It was one of them things where it's like for me, I consider myself a playmaker. I feel like if you watch film, like I'm a guy who like my film match up with any of the safeties you call the best in this league. So for me, that was my moment to make a play for the team, and I think changed the momentum of the game, and I dropped it. So it's kind of like I knew that was going to be one of the things people pointed out. Hey, if Tartt caught that pick, they could have won, or whatever people are going to say. But for me personally, like all I care about is on how I had a chance to, make a play for the team, and I didn't. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's part of football.
What are the Eagles getting in you? What kind of safety? Just describe the way you play the game and your skill set.
They getting a dog, man. Somebody who gonna bring it every play, and just hungry. I'm hungry, man.